Hello and welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Backgammon Club study session for March 25th, 2026. If you're interested in joining our study sessions or our weekly tournaments, send us an email to midatlanticbg@gmail.com. All right, this is where we're picking up from last week. The red team, which you all will be playing, looks like you're in a pretty good position here. One away from winning the match, and looks like I'm not in a very good spot. But you still got to close it out and find a way to win. So if you'd like to put your play in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, you can do that and give a suggestion. There's still stuff to be done here. This is something that you got to finish this off. You're in a pretty
Jason,
good.
4-1 and 22-21.
Okay.
That closes the red board, inner board.
Okay, and tell me why you want to do 22 to 21.
Just to keep from getting hit until I can get out of there.
Okay. But notice I'm closed out. You're not going to get hit. I think you have a much bigger priority to worry about.
Okay,
21-20.
Yeah, 21-20.
21-20.
All right, what's the bigger priority that you have to worry about?
Get the heck out of there.
Get
Yeah,
out of there. Yeah. Okay, so why is it going to be easier to get out if you're on the 20 point?
you're going to get hit quicker.
So you keep talking about
He's
getting
on the
hit, but I
bar.
don't think that's the issue here at all.
You have more
Only fought
options
for
for your
that.
die rolls.
You have more ways you can escape. You'll
That's
be able to
true.
escape with fours. If you play this, fours
Yeah,
don't escape anymore. You're going to
right.
be blocked by twos, threes, and fours. You would need to roll a 5 or a 6 to escape. If you do this, fours, fives, and sixes escape. Twos let you jump up to this point to
Yeah,
escape.
I agree.
Okay, the Slido's open. Let's vote. So you go to slido.com and put in 1296, and you can cast a vote for whatever play you want. Give you all a minute to get your Slido going.
Not seeing the 21 to 20 on Slido.
It is. Yeah, I don't see any votes. Is nobody seeing this on Slido?
No, Slido's
Just
set
got
for
the one.
bar 21 and the hit with 4-1 and a hit.
Okay, how about now?
There you go.
Much
Okay.
better.
You got it.
All right. So the votes are to step up to the 20 point to facilitate escape. Okay. Next play we got a 5-2.
Twenty-two
22-15.
Yeah.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
I agree with that one.
All right, we're moving quick here. All right, the votes are for 21-15. Looks good. Let's go back to this one. I want to see the difference between these two plays. There's a big difference between stepping up to the 20 and staying on the 21.
Mhm.
Okay, 22-15 looks good. All right, next play, 6-1. Sometimes these matter a lot, sometimes they don't.
20 to 13.
20 to 13. One thing I like to look at is how well do particular big roles play? Like
Such as double sixes.
yeah, how do double sixes play? How do double fives play? Make sure I'm not going to leave a shot.
Well, since there are still 4 crossovers, then double six shouldn't leave a shot.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. The Slido's open. All right. 20 to 13. Looks like it's definitely getting the most votes. A good turnout today. And let's go back and look. I don't really buy this top play. I wouldn't play 5 to 4. I think it's good to have a spare on the 5 point. Okay, how about this one? 6-5 to play.
Fifteen four.
Yes,
15 to 4.
that was going to be mine.
Yeah, me too.
Uh, 15, 10, 13, 7.
Okay, 15, 10, 13, 7. Now, one thing we should do is take a look at how do big rolls play. All right, so here, how do double sixes play?
Fine.
They do fine.
They do fine. Okay, let's see if we play it the other way. If you do this, how do double sixes play? Basically the
Same thing.
same thing. Okay, then let's look at like double fives. All right,
Yes.
how do double fives play after this?
Not as well.
Well, I don't
Well,
know.
not as well as the other one. Well, look at the
But
other
we,
one.
we can move off the 6 to the
Okay, if you
1.
do this, how do double fives play?
Not as
Well,
well.
they play safely.
About the same, I guess. I guess
But
it's the same.
but the other one puts 2 spares on the one from 6 to 1 twice, which is not desirable. So maybe this one is better with double fives.
Okay, I think there's a secondary consideration that we should look at. Okay, let's say you roll double fives from this position. What will happen? You go 10 to 5, 7 to 2, and then maybe
And
take 2
take 2
checkers
off.
off the 5 point. The
Yes.
resulting position will be a 0 position. That is, nothing will leave a shot. Okay, now take a look at this position. And what happens when you roll double fives now?
You
What will
kind of
you
have
play?
to move the 2 6s to the 1s
Right.
So-
Okay,
so
so
it's
you'll
instead of
worse.
sparing off.
Okay, so
Correct.
you'll play 13 to 3, and then you'll play 6-1 twice. The resulting position is not a 0 position. There
Correct.
are shots that can be left. And you
Yes.
haven't taken any checkers off.
Yeah.
So
All those things.
this is like a second order thing, right? That you're not even on the first roll, you're not going to leave a shot, but you're thinking about what happens one roll down the road.
Yes. That's why I like 15, 10 and 13, 7.
Okay, the Slido's open. You can vote. Now, sometimes people will say to me, how much does this really matter? The answer is it doesn't matter very much. We're talking about a pretty rare scenario happening here. But when you've got the match just about wrapped up, that's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for
Yeah,
that
worry
one
about-
thing that can trip you up.
Yeah,
Oh.
why leave it if you don't have to?
Okay, 15. Okay, there was a suggestion in the chat by Jeremy, 15, 9, 13, 8. Let's take a look at that one. 15, 9, 13, 8. I think the answer is after you roll double fives. Same deal. You're going to have to shove 2 checkers to the ace point.
Mhm.
I think that's the difference there.
Yep.
Otherwise, not too much different from like 15 to 4. Okay, I guess I browbeated you all into playing 13, 7, 15, 10. Let's
Thank
take a
you.
look. And there's very, very little difference. And I'd have to see a rollout before I was convinced of this anyway. Okay, how about now? 6-3 to play.
Hmm.
And use not to bring them both in.
Yeah.
Yeah, sixes and fives.
Bring them both in. Double six doesn't play well then.
No.
And same with double fives.
Double five doesn't play well either. So that might not be the right move.
The question is there anything that's better, like 7-1-5-2 or something?
Mhm.
Well, maybe you have to look at it and count the bad rolls and stuff. Double six is still bad in that case.
Double fives are good, but 6-5 is
Fives is
now bad.
okay. The sixes are bad, but fives are okay.
Right, but 6-5 is bad on that other one.
And 6-5 is bad.
Okay, what about 10-1?
6-5 is okay now. Double six is okay.
Yep.
Double
Everything's
fives
okay
is
this
okay.
roll.
6-5 is okay. Maybe that. I think that's the move then. Wow.
Yeah, which is kind of counterintuitive, right? You don't usually want
Yeah,
to
you
shove a
usually
checker
want
to
to
the
go
ace
go to
point.
the 1 point, but it looks like that might be right in this case. Huh.
Could be.
Is this, do we have to start worrying about whether we're gonna make it harder on our positions later versus just playing safe for the next 2 turns, basically?
Yeah, that's always a consideration, Are you playing for now or you're playing for later?
Because, for example, 10-4-7-4, assuming we don't roll sixes or fives, we're going to be in just really easy shape going forward.
Right.
Right.
So you have to ask yourself, is that worth giving up 2 blotting numbers right now?
And considering you have 2 on the bar and you have no board, if you hit us even with anything other than coming out with doubles, it's probably not even catastrophic.
Right, which is why there's probably not going to be a huge difference in the equities here. You've got this pretty well locked up. Okay, well, let's vote. Well, all three have generated some interest here. Hey, it looks like 10-4-7-4 has taken the lead. Okay, looks like that's going to be the one. All right, let's do it. I think I would have played 10-1, but I don't think there's going to be a huge difference. Yeah, look at that. Basically the same. So these are not ones to worry about too much. Okay, this one's easy. The 5 has to come off, and then okay, so no shots.
Yep.
Uh-oh, trouble.
Yep.
Oh,
And that wraps it up.
that should wrap it up. Take one off.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, I think that's it. All right, we'll just finish this up. Okay, that's it for the match. And 3.58 for the Hive Mind, pretty good. 5.29 for the Dream Team, also pretty good. All right. What were we playing here? That was an 11-point match, so that's over a pretty long match. So 6 games worth. All right, well, let's start a new one. And is anybody interested in joining me in on the Dream Team? I'll take two partners. Okay, I'm gonna take Amy. Amy's going in the chat.
If no one else goes, I can go.
Anybody else?
He's going to say the same thing, so he can.
Oops, hang on. I didn't set this up right. There we go. Okay. Now we got it going. Okay, so this is going to be the red team starting with the 6-4. So I'm got Amy's going to join me, and who else? Both Eric and Rick said they were interested. You guys want to flip for it?
Suit said first, he can go.
Okay, Eric, so you're in.
Yes.
We can use it, Rick, on our side.
Okay, 24, 18, 13, 9. There's sort of the three standard options here. 24, 14, 8, 2.
So I like 24, 18, 13 to 9. It seems at the beginning of a match seems to be the standard play.
It does, yeah. It puts a checker on the 9 point, which is a good spot. When would you like to make the 2 point?
Oh, if your opponent runs,
If your opponent runs, yeah, and they only have one checker back, then you're more inclined to make the 2 point because then you want to be in an attacking position. What about on
And
the
gammon
opening
goal
roll?
scores.
Gammon save, is that when you do make the 2 point on 6-4?
The other way around, I think when you
Gammon
gammon
go.
go, yeah,
Gammon go.
when you're attacking. And then the running play, I might do it in the other direction if I'm trying to save a gammon.
Mm.
But there's also not a ton of difference between these plays. So
So-
on the opening roll, this one's kind of fun because you get to the differences are so small that it's actually worth playing different rolls on different moves on the first roll just to mix it up and um, you know, test your style and different ways of playing.
Well, right, and it opens up a lot of opportunities for what type of game you're going to end up playing, whether it's
That's
going to
right.
be a priming game or a running game or
Yes, exactly. Okay, so if you were to play 24, 18, 13, 9, like what's that doing for you in terms of, what type of game you might play?
keeps it open.
All right, I like that answer. You're giving yourself, multiple options.
right. I don't think this pertains to any one style right now. I think it depends on what your opponent rolls and what your
Yeah.
next roll is.
When you make the 2 point, that is you're definitely committing yourself to an attacking and blitzing type game.
Yeah. So if this wasn't the first roll of the first of an 11-point match, but if the score was like, I don't know, if you were only 2 away and the other opponent was like 5 away, then you might want to make the 2 point.
Yes. Because when I'm 2 away, then often I want to play for an undoubled gammon.
Right. Anyway, so I would go with this one.
Okay, let's see what the voting is like. Yeah, people are liking the splitting play. All right, let's do it.
So when you're 2 away, you want to play an undoubled gammon, but if you're 2 away, you're often quite ahead in the score, which begs you to play more safely and like try for simpler games where you can win just by luck and
Yeah, so
not give the opponent a gammon. So would you want to run 2014, or would you want to make the 2 point if you're 2 away?
if I'm 2 away and my opponent is, say 5 away, 6 away, I actually think I might consider making the 2 point and go for that undoubled gammon. It's more difficult for me to use the cube at that score.
It also makes it's harder for your opponent to play a 1, like it's a 5-1 or a 3, I mean a 2-1. It takes away that easy split at the back.
Yeah.
It's interesting looking the running play had the best win percentage of the three. It's all close. The
Yes.
making the 2 had the best gammon, and this is just sort of a split the difference move.
That's right. And so, like at double match point, I definitely make the running play. So, when at double match point, you should just go for the running play because the gammons are worthless to you. And by rolling 6-4, you just put yourself ahead in the race by 10 pips. And so, you should try to capitalize that by running. So, at double match point, I always run with a 6-4.
Huh. That's interesting.
Okay, 6-3 for the white team. And so this is Eric and Amy. Amy's gonna put her suggestion in the chat.
Well, hit is mandatory.
Yeah, I think we do want to hit. How are we gonna play the 3? Amy
The
likes
3 is less clear.
Yeah, it's
Because
less
that
clear.
puts pressure on their blot on the 16.
Uh-huh.
But also bringing one more down is since we already have one extra down, we are already like kind of blitzing. With this move, we want to strengthen our potential blitz. So both are good. I don't know which to pick.
You sure you don't want to slot your 5 point?
You mean like that?
No. No.
Just a suggestion from the other team.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Amy says 2 down is nice too. All right, Eric, what's I know what I want to do.
Hit and split is
I think I'm
correct.
gonna go with the split on the back. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
that's the correct.
Yeah.
I like the split. I think it's important to split while our opponent is distracted and they have a good offensive formation. So if we split now, this gives us a good chance to make an advanced anchor. So I think
Would you still want to split even if they didn't have the 16 blot?
yeah, I might, yeah. But I think
Okay.
then it's a little bit more attractive to bring 2 checkers down. Okay, let's go with this. So this was Amy's original suggestion. And what do you know?
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
big
by a
difference.
lot. That's a huge difference. I didn't know it was that big a difference. Okay. All right, 5 and 2.
Hit on the
Hit.
18.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think the 18.
All right, we don't need to vote on this. This one's
No.
Well, there is another choice of hitting on the 4, but it's hitting on the 18.
yeah,
Yeah, you got to hit with the race.
let's take a peek. Yeah,
And
see,
mind.
it's not close. Okay. All right, 4 and 2 for the white team.
Well, the 4 plays nicely. The other one that's a challenge.
The 2 is less clear, but I guess 24, 22.
Okay. Got another suggestion I want to throw out. I don't know if it's right, but I want to throw this out. We're behind in the race. It unstacks. The real downside is it's not duplicating anything. 3s don't really play all that great for red. So this, I don't know how much this is accomplishing. If we were slotting the 5 point, I'd be much more interested in this.
What about 13, 11?
I mean, that's a possibility too.
I feel like giving a red a direct shot isn't worth
Duplicates
it.
force.
So
Very
Amy's
tough.
asking about 8-6.
8 to 6. Yeah, I don't like that one at the super tower on
Ugly.
8 to 6. So
Yeah,
I guess you should ask the question, like, is 24-22 actually accomplishing anything? And I think it is accomplishing something. We're putting a little bit more pressure on this blot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess that's basically it. Because we are getting a bit more under the gun if we play this. Because
Yeah, we
then the
are.
16 can attack us.
So,
But
Amy, I
it's
think
worth the pressure.
to answer Amy, I would be more inclined to play 8 to 6 if the alternative was we had to leave a blot somewhere that we really didn't want to get hit, and we were ahead in the race. This is one of these Dirk Shimon ugly plays, which can be right in certain circumstances, but I'm not so sure about here.
So by your prediction, 8 to 6 will have better equity than 13 to 11, right? Let's check that when
That's a good
the
question.
analysis later.
Actually, I'm gonna say no. I think 13-11 is gonna be better than 8 to 6.
Yes,
But
because it duplicates force.
I'm not willing to bet on that. I'm not sure. All right.
I will bet on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. Let's come to a play here. Eric, what do you like?
24, 22.
And Amy? Okay. Yeah. All right. I think I'm okay with that. Let's see how? Oh. Oh man, my original suggestion was
Correct.
Oh, and 13-11 is almost tied for
almost as
best
good.
player.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I didn't have the guts to push for this. I didn't really think it was going to be the right thing. Too
Why do you
bad.
think, why do you think it is such, why do you think it is the right thing?
Oh, because it's unstacking. It's putting a checker in a reasonable spot that if you could make it, it'll be good. And we're behind
If
in
you
the
get hit,
race.
it's not that costly if you get hit because
Exactly. It's not that costly if we get hit, but if we make that point, woohoo, that's great. Good. It'll be a
And
good long-term asset.
okay.
and 24, 22 kind of lets us go behind you too.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem with that. Okay, 5-4 for the red team.
18-9.
18-9, yeah.
18-9.
I guess what else is 13-9,
8-5.
8-3?
13-9, 8-3.
Probably not as good though, but
Yeah,
at least
probably
worth a
not
look.
as good. Yeah,
I
worth a
like
look.
18-9.
Yeah, 18-9 is pretty good. It makes a nice point. A 9 point's pretty nice. Good blocking point, good landing spot.
And with the
We're
racing
ahead in the
lead that we
race.
have,
Yeah,
We're
race
ahead in the
lead,
race.
22 pip race lead. You kind of want to, clean things up. When you're ahead in the race,
Race.
you want to clean it up, lean towards cleanup plays. When you're behind on the race in the race, you want to lean towards chaos.
Just as devil's advocate, 6-1 and 13-9.
6-1, 13-9. Yeah, that's not terrible.
Unstacks a heavy one.
Yeah, it unstacks the heavy. It's got something going for it.
Yeah, and also it keeps communication between the checkers on 24 and 18.
Okay, so Bill Powell points out that 18-9 leaves Junior a little bit stranded and,
Yes,
trying to find a way home on his own. That
yes.
Now, how difficult is it for Junior to get home right now?
Yeah, not that
Six,
bad.
Not that bad.
just a 6-5 away.
Yeah, right. Okay,
Those
looks like
happen all the time.
yeah. Okay, so I think the votes are for 18-9, which I think is a good play. Yeah. Uh,
Otherwise, it's a whopper.
yeah.
Really?
All right. Okay, double fours for the white team.
Nice.
This one, I think I know what I want to do. All right, I'm waiting for Amy or Eric to say what they want to do, but I got my play in mind.
Make the 5, I would say.
Make the 5. Okay, so Amy, if you're going to run from the 22, where are we going? One more after this? All the way to the 6 or something else?
I personally wouldn't run the 22 because we are too behind in the race to do a running play.
Amy just said all the way to the 6, but that doesn't look at good as making the 5. So I agree. I think I want to make the 5. So I think we're all in agreement here. This is it's a good point to make.
The other play I saw would be 13-9 twice, 6-2 twice, which is decent, but I don't think it's as decent as the 5.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
here's another option, which is to make the 4-point and the 2-point.
I was just going to ask if that's worth considering.
I
that
think it is
position.
worth considering with the one checker back. But so Eric and Amy, do you still like this play? Because this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Make it the 5-point. How wrong can it be? and it's right. Okay, let's look at some of these other plays that were under
Well,
consideration.
and I think the problem with making the two inner board points is any seven would hit. A
Yeah.
6-1, 4-3, or 5-2, all of them would hit that 8 point.
Oh, and Amy made a great point here, which I like. Making two inner board points would be good if there was already a checker on the bar. Yeah, I think that's right. But we're not putting a checker on the bar. That's why we kind of shied away from that. And yeah. Here's the play that Rick suggested, 6-2, 4 times. Octuple Whopper.
I've learned over time that when in doubt, just
Don't.
make the 5. I mean, it
Yeah.
is kind of like a backgammon adage, but it is so true.
It really is.
The times you're going to lose equity by not following this rule is going to be much fewer and less equity in total than if you
That's
just follow
right.
it. Yeah.
Okay, 3-2 to play for the red team.
Hmm.
Maybe just 13-8.
About 13, 11, 24, 21.
My only concern with that is
I
that
like that one.
we're
I like the
outboarded.
24-21.
We are, but stepping up makes it easier to run. And if they have to break their anchor to hit us, one, they might not, and two, that's a big price to pay if they do. And if they don't, we all of a sudden have an ability to make another outfield point or escape from the back. Anyway, that was the reason I was thinking we should at least consider it.
Yep, I like it.
And I think 13-11 is better than 13-10 just because it's 7 away from the 4 instead of 6.
Right. So, I mean,
Yes.
I'll put it in there, 24-22, 13-10, but I think that is definitely inferior to 24-21, 13-11.
Right, that's what I was saying. I was
Yeah.
saying doing 13-11 is better than doing the 13-10.
Right.
Also on the
Jeff, is this
upside,
your
What?
first time joining us, Jeff?
Yes.
Great.
It wouldn't
And
surprise me if even 6-3 is a better 3 than 13-10. Because you're unstacking
yeah.
the heaviest point, even though you're
That's-
given a direct shot from the ball.
Yeah. I think, Bill, you've got a good point.
That's how bad I think 13-10 actually is.
Okay. All right. So 21
and
and 11 is very popular here in the vote.
That's what I
yeah,
like.
so this move has an extra advantage that if you do get hit, you can make the 4 point. So that's another consideration too.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it-
really
it-
looking to anchor though, Eric. I'm looking to get out.
If you
Well,
don't get
yeah.
hit, then you get out.
Okay. XG did not like this play.
Hmm. Yeah, it wasn't the play I would have made. I would have made 13-8, but I'm not on the red team, so it kept my mouth shut.
Even that
basically.
even that 6-3 move was better than what we did.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Ouch. I can't believe that's true.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. Okay.
Wow.
3-1 for the white team. And I'll just say I think this is a slam dunk. Amy, Eric, do you
I'm
agree?
thinking.
Amy says
You mean
hit.
5? You mean 5-4 and 6-3?
No.
Hmm. Yeah,
Amy
that
wants
looks
to
good.
hit. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, I mean we have three back and they have one, so that calls for bolder moves, I suppose.
We also have
It's
a
not going to
better
be a very
board.
flexible. We're not going to be too flexible after this with just no spares on the 8 anymore and just attackers only on the 6.
Oh, I
But
won't mind breaking the 8 point to make the 4.
Oh, you got 10
Fair
in the
point.
zone.
Yeah. Yeah, we got 10 in the zone. We have a better board. We're behind in the race. We have 3 checkers back. Everything is pointing towards the
I
bold
want to
play.
be on your side.
Yeah.
There's another thing in favor on top of all those that you didn't mention, which is there's really nothing else good to do.
Right. All right. What's the second best play? Like, if
I
you
think-
weren't going to do
I
this,
think some consideration should go to 8, 5, 22, 21.
okay. So,
But-
so
Yeah.
Bill, would
Or
you say
six,
this is
6-3?
I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's worth a
6-3,
look.
6-5, maybe?
No, I would do
Yeah.
6-3, 22, 21 in that case, just
Yeah.
to protect ourselves from the barrage of checkers from red.
But anyway, I want to hit. Amy said she wants to hit. Eric, you're good with the hit?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm
Look, it
very
looks
sure
right.
this is right.
I'd be surprised if that's wrong.
Look at that. It's not close. This is
Everything else is a whopper.
This is a beautiful example of a safe versus bold play. We're playing from a position of strength. We're behind in the race. We have more checkers back. We want to try to constrain the last checker from getting away.
Better board.
Better board. Everything is pointing to it. I think, to me, this is a very easy play.
Wait, so how did 6-3, 22, 21 rank?
Third best.
Ah, right up there. Okay. The best among the worst. Okay.
The best among the
All right.
Okay, 2-1 off the bar.
Yep. And
On the
then
24, make the 11.
11, 9. I think.
I think 11-9 too.
Rather have the spare of the 9.
Yeah.
And also
I
the
think-
13. Keeping the spare in the 13 plus the spare in the 9
I agree. You're right.
instead of making the 11 because it doesn't really block anything. It's 7 and 8 away from his checkers.
Okay, we're
In
ready.
fact, I think rather than play
bar
13,
22.
11, I think off the bar all the way up to the 22 is better than that.
Yeah, up to the 22, he can't hit us. He can't hit us without a combo, which would leave the direct return. Do we want it? So the question is, would we rather step up like that?
I like staying back.
Yeah, I'm not
24
sure I
and-
want to encourage them
24
to
and
hit
9,
us.
then I guess. The landing spots are 24 and 9.
Okay, go ahead and cast your vote. All right, 11-9 is pretty popular. So let's do it. 11-9. I think that's a good play. Gives nice distribution.
Yes.
I would have made the 11. Oh, look at that.
Oh, well, you would have been wrong by 1 millipoint.
Oh no, I lost 1 millipoint of bug equity.
Yeah,
I'm surprised bar 22 is a double whopper. I thought it was going to be a close, inferior, but not that much.
Wow, bar 22 is a double whop.
well,
Yeah,
it leaves the blot and it's easier to attack on the 22.
That's a point you want.
Yeah, that's the point we want to make. Yeah. It's hard. It's much harder for us to attack on the ace point. Here, it's somewhat unlikely we'll be attacking on the ace point.
Yes.
But
It
Oh,
would
not
no,
us.
require,
or
it would
not.
require a double 5 or something.
Yeah, you'd have to roll double 5s to attack on the ace point. It's really unlikely for this to happen.
Exactly.
What it's worth, we would have been no better off on the 3.
That's true. In fact, no, you'd be worse off because then there'd be a blot lurking in the output
Yeah,
if you hadn't
that's
cleaned
true.
up.
So we played it safe against this combination.
Okay, so Eric and Amy says, Amy, I assume you mean 8-3 twice. So make the 3-point and the ace point. Eric, do you like this?
Yes, very
Yeah.
much.
We're in the driver's seat now.
How about some double 4s here?
All we need is a 4.
I'll settle for double 2s.
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
4 is good.
Easy play. Oh, that's too bad. All right, well, we better think about a cube.
Mm.
Yeah, to not think about a cube here would be stupid. It's got to be some
I mean, it's
consideration.
a trick question. We always have to think about a cube.
That's right.
It's a trick question. We always have to think about a cube.
Every
But do
roll
we
is-
want to send a cube here? Is the Is
Okay,
Well-
first
the
question
right
is,
question.
can they take if we were to double this?
Of course they can.
Yes. Yes, they can. Because there's no guarantee that we will cover the 4. They might still hit. They are going to cover. We are
Eric,
going to cover the 4. They
are
might
you
hit on the
sure?
4 if we don't.
You're sure
Yeah.
this is a take?
I'm not
No.
entirely sure. So maybe Wolves' wall law is
Maybe.
It is
think
not a
it-
take.
I think it's a drop. I'll bet money it's a drop.
Wow.
Sorry, who's doubling here, red or white?
Yeah,
They
it's
haven't-
it's
they haven't
white.
doubled yet.
Yeah, well, no, we're still talking about it. This is okay. The
But who's
white team is
considering doubling, white?
White's on roll. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
all right. This is a decision for white. That's just me and Amy and Eric. You guys are gonna get your chance in just a minute. Um, and Amy hasn't said anything yet as to whether or not we want to double this. If we just use something very simple like position, race, and threats, I think we have all three. We have a better position. We have a 4-point board, which is very strong. We have a race lead of 15 pips, and we have threats. The threats are the possibility of covering on the 4-point. Any 2 and 6-3 and 5-4 double threes. What is that?
Yeah.
And double
I-
ones.
I'm-
17
the double is
covering.
not in question for me. It's the take from their side, but
Okay,
yeah.
then why don't we just double and let them deal with it? What do you
Fine,
say?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and Amy says she'd double too, so all right, let's do it. Oh, and I'm going to hold on. I'm trying to get rid of the there. I'm trying to get rid of that so we don't see anything pop up on the
Yes.
window.
Got it. Strong pass.
Okay. All right, we've doubled, and now you can all talk about it.
I think
easy
if,
pass.
I would
if anything,
pass.
I think White was maybe too good. Strong pass for sure. I don't think White was too good, but I think it's close. I think White's close to being too good.
In,
Anyone that wants to take this, I want to play for money, whatever stake you like.
if in Pratt you have a lead in all 3, then it oftentimes is too good.
Often it
Yeah,
is.
quite,
Yes.
quite often it's not. And maybe this isn't either, but I won't bet on it's too good. I'll bet on it's a pass.
White's gonna have no trouble getting out, and
Correct.
yeah,
Exactly.
I
They can play with 3s, 4s, 6s. I mean, the only disaster for White right now would be to get like double 5s
and they
after
can
we
even
fail.
withstand it once.
After we fail. They can do it once. Yeah. Just go 13-3, twice. Then we fail again. Then they get double 5s again. Now, red has to take.
All right, so 6
Maybe.
votes are in, and they're all to pass. So, all right, I think we're gonna pass this. Let's take a peek. And right on the cusp.
Yeah, so the reason I thought this could be a take is because there's only one number to cover the 4 for white. If white had more closer builders on the outfield to cover the 4, then it would be a definite pass for me.
9's
But-
cover too.
Yeah, I counted 17 covering numbers though.
That's quite a few. Also, let me ask you this. Is it true that if you get a roll that doesn't do it like, say, 5-1, there's some consideration to move 4-3?
Um,
While the 5 is 13-8? Just asking.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a good question. Actually, why don't we do some experimentation with that? Because it's 15 minutes to the hour. So how about we don't start a new game and maybe we just play around with this?
Yeah, I don't think it's correct to go 4-3. I'm just saying it might be, maybe.
Okay.
If you don't
Good
get one of the
idea.
17 numbers that covers it, you might
All
lift
right,
it.
so we say we doubled and we took and now rolled.
I'm
What do
going
you
to
want to
say
roll?
5-1.
5-1.
For
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's experiment with this. So Bill is asking after a double and a take, how do we play a non-covering roll like 5-1? Would you lift? Boy, 5-1 is a tough roll to play, huh?
Yeah. I think the right move is 21 to 15, actually, but that leaves a lot of bluffs.
That's also quite illegal.
Well, it goes 21 to 20 and
I
then
thought you
20
said
to 15.
22 to 15, 21 to 15.
21 15. That leaves a lot of bluffs.
I
I
think
think
I'd want to
13 to 8, 4 to 3 can't be horrible.
I'd want to bring a checker. Oops, sorry. I'd want to bring a checker down. I think I'd want to play 13 to 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's me too.
And I
Okay,
don't know
for
about
sure.
Are there
15.
any rules about when to
13 to 8.
lift and when not to lift?
Well, in this situation, your opponent has no board, so white should not be all that afraid of getting hit.
Exactly.
Okay.
The downside is not that great.
Yeah, you still got 4-point board to none for
Yeah.
one.
So is it
Okay.
13-7 or 13-8 and some other one?
I was going to ask about 13-7.
Yeah, 13-7 might be yeah, 13 to 8, what it does is it limits the hitting rolls. All fours and 2-6. Whereas if you go to
You too. Well, that's
13-7
double
gives
hitting rolls
4-3
double
and
fours.
2-5.
2-5,
Yeah, so it might be about the same.
3-4,
So that part
It's
I'm not
it's
sure.
one- it's four. It's 4 instead of 3.
2-3.
Yeah. All right,
question
well,
is, what do you want to do with your one if you don't want to go
Probably
13-7?
6-5.
possibly 6 to 5.
What about 22-21?
Definitely would
Yeah.
not want to play 22-21 because that limits my escape ability.
Yep, exactly. You can't run with a 4.
Yeah.
But it also keeps you safer in case red enters on the 4, and because red has a kind of like a blitzing position, right? So it keeps you
Again,
safe
we
from the
got no
blitzing.
board though.
Yeah, there's no board. I really am not afraid of much right now.
Right, but if we could end up, I mean, at this point, if we lucky enough to come in and hit him, you know, we want to get some anchors in his home board. So getting hit gives us a chance to get an anchor in his home board.
You mean for
Yeah.
white?
Don't
so if
want
you-
to.
So say for instance, you go 13 to 7 and we roll a 2-3. You know, there's something to be said for hitting, 19 to 22.
I'd rather
Because
hit 4. I'd rather hit 4 to 7. And I'm sorry, we're not on that number. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. 19 to 22 for the 3. Yeah, that's probably right.
All right. Well, let's see what the bot has on this. 21-15. Oh, 13-8. No good.
So that 21-15, which I really thought was wrong, is actually the best move. Huh.
And look,
Okay,
lifting the blot is,
lifting the
is
blot
the,
was
the
a
second
whopper.
It's a
best.
whopper. It's a whopper.
No.
Wow.
But it turned out better than 13-8, 6 to 5.
Really?
No, but look,
Yeah.
sorry, I mean 21-20, which is, oh wait, no, it's separating the block. Oh, it's the opposite. So I was thinking it was 22-21. Okay. 22-21 is the first 22-21 is 5 moves down there with 13-8. Okay.
Okay, now let's go back to the original position, which was this cube. All right, is there a change that we could make? So this was the original position, which was right on the cusp here. Is there a change we could make that would turn this into a pass? A small change that we could make.
We all pass. It's actually a take. Wow.
It would turn into a pass if we had an extra builder.
If you
for
had
the 4, I
21-20.
Or if red had another blot.
Well, if Red has another blot, that's a big change.
Yeah.
Okay, here, let's do this.
What if Red had the 5 point?
Then
Yes.
it'd be an easy take.
Then
No,
it's an easy-
I want to make a very small change. Here, let's do this. Let's move this checker on the 22 up to the 20. This is a small change, right? That turned it into a big pass. Okay, so what's the difference? Why is
your
moving?
sixes aren't. We're blocking your 6.
That's right. Yeah. So it's easier to just sneak away with this checker. Okay, now what if we put it on the 21? This is going to be a good demonstration. What's this going to be? We
Well,
saw that
it's not as
this was right on the cusp.
it's
So
not as diversified, so I'd say it'd be same.
So
Take.
that
Better
would be
take
a
for Red.
take.
I
Because
think
Still,
Take.
it still gives us gives white good sixes with
it's a
this,
small
so-
take.
okay, I think this is going to be a pretty big take.
Really?
Oh, not that big.
Uh,
Okay, small take. All right, Rick was right. All right, let's do. Somebody suggested if white had the 5 point, this is going to be a super easy take. Won't even
Yes.
be close. Probably
Very
might
good,
not. I don't
very
even know if
good.
this is a cube. Yeah,
Wow.
no double, easy take.
Wow.
All right, this
Wow.
again points out just how powerful the 5 point is, right? Just moving these two checkers. Okay, now back to the original, which was very easy. No, sorry, right on the cusp of a pass. Let's do this. Did that make things better or worse for red?
worse.
Worse,
Worse.
less flexibility.
worse.
Yeah, definitely worse.
It makes sixes more like if we got a 2-6 or a 4-6.
Yeah,
Now it's a pass.
right. So I do this kind of thing a lot, trying to experiment with a position and figure out what are the features that are going to change things. Okay, how about this? All right, this is back in the original. What if I take a checker from the midpoint and bring it down here? Is that an improvement for red?
Think so.
More
Yes.
builders, more for the blitz, yes.
Yeah, probably an improvement.
Not a
So,
huge
What,
improvement.
what if
though.
you put it on the 14?
okay, small improvement. All right, Adam says if we put it on the 14. Is this an improvement for red? Okay, so wait.
Yes.
Maybe
This was the
worse.
original, and then I'm
Yeah.
taking a checker here and I'm putting it on the 14. Is that good for red or not?
No,
No,
This-
probably
Probably
not.
worse.
no.
It's
More
worse.
targets for
It's
More
worse.
targets.
to put a second blot.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to lose a lot more gammons. I think this is going to be a big pass.
Yes. Yes, correct.
Okay, I was wrong. It's not going to be a big pass. It's going to be a gigantic pass.
How come
Now,
it's not?
combine this with the thing that made it the no double. Give us the 5 and the loose checker.
Like that?
Yeah,
All right, what do you think?
Take.
Take.
double
Take.
and
Still a
take.
take. Easy
Double and
take.
take.
No,
Double
I think
take.
it's
No-
pass.
no
Look,
double.
look.
It might not be a double now.
No
Before,
double
before you
take.
click there, Jason, let me point something out.
Okay.
Making the 2 was worth 22 equity points more, like 0.22 for red. But
Uh-huh.
putting an extra target on the 14 was worth minus 0.42. So if we can sum things up like that, it should still be worse for red this way. But I don't think it's a simple math like that, like adding
I
and
think-
subtracting.
Yeah, well,
think-
Eric, it's okay. All of
Yeah.
my students think that every function is linear, so you might be right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's find out.
Just pointing it out that putting
Oh,
an
this is
extra
cool.
target there
Now
is
this
a
is-
worse.
This is now right on the cusp of double, no double, but the take is super easy.
Mhm.
Hmm.
All right, let's make things a little worse from red. What if we put this in direct
Ah.
range? Ooh, trouble
Yeah.
now.
No
Now,
longer super easy.
Now it's
no
a pass.
longer super easy.
I still think it's a take, but close.
I think it's a pass now.
I'm worried about gammons.
I think it's a pass.
Pass.
Ah.
Yeah, I think pass.
I think it's too good.
Oh,
No,
really?
hey.
Wow. That is
Yeah,
not
double take.
close. Wow.
Do not underestimate the power of the 5 point.
I
5 point is
guess.
awesome. It's
Look at this,
so
dude.
awesome.
40% gammons is huge, but
Yeah,
it's only 60. If you don't win, if you don't gammon us, you're not winning, basically.
yeah, that's right.
It's all on this roll. You lock it up with the gammon or you let us right back into it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's hard though, to have a 40% gammon and it not be the drop.
All right, I think Wes is here, ready to run the tournament, so I'm going to mute everybody and sign off.
Can you make me host, Jason?
Yep, I'll make you the host. All right, thank you for joining the Mid-Atlantic Backgammon Club study session for March 25th, 2026. If you're interested in joining our study sessions or our weekly tournaments, send us an email to midatlanticbg@gmail.com.